Title: Pay or Die. In the beginning, the earth was created not for one, not for some, but for all mankind to share. The rivers flowed freely, the land stretched vast and open, and the fruits of the earth belonged to no one and everyone at once. Water was life, and life was free. Land was abundant, meant to shelter and sustain all who walked upon it. But somewhere along the way, things changed. A small few claimed ownership over what was once shared. They built walls, drew borders, and turned the gifts of nature into commodities. They built their empires on the backs of the many, securing wealth and power while the rest struggled to survive. The rich stayed rich, the poor stayed poor, and the idea of equality became just that, an idea, rather than a reality. The illusion of ownership. Land, water, air. These are the very elements that sustain human life. Yet, in today's world, access to them is determined by wealth, not by need. The notion that land can be bought, sold, and hoarded has led to homelessness, displacement, and entire communities left without the resources they require to live. Experts trace this shift back to the rise of private property, colonization, and economic systems that prioritize profit over people. The world produces enough food to feed everyone, yet millions go hungry. The earth provides enough land to shelter every human, yet countless sleep on the streets. The gatekeepers of wealth. The wealthiest 1% control more than half of the world's resources, while billions struggle to afford basic necessities. Luxury and excess exist side by side with poverty and despair. The question is, how did this become the norm? And why do so many accept it? Historical patterns reveal a cycle. Those in power create systems that ensure they remain in power. They write the laws, control the industries, and dictate who gets access to opportunities. Meanwhile, the working class is kept in a state of perpetual struggle, earning just enough to survive but never enough to break free. The cost of a better world. Change is possible. Countries with social safety nets, fair wages, and public access to essential resources have proven that an alternative system can exist. Imagine a world where no child goes hungry, where no person is forced to sleep outside, where healthcare, education, and clean water are not privileges but rights. The solutions are clear. Governments must prioritize human welfare over corporate profit. Resources like water, food, and land must be seen as universal rights, not market goods. The wealth gap must be addressed, ensuring that no one has too much while others have too little. The earth was created for all of us. It gives without asking for payment, without favoring one over another. But humanity has turned paradise into a prison for many. The choice now is ours. Will we continue down this path of inequality, or will we reclaim what was always meant to be shared? The world does not belong to the wealthy few. It belongs to all of us. And it's time to take it back. Voices of the forgotten. Across the world, millions cry out for justice, but their voices are often ignored. From the slums of major cities to the rural villages where resources are scarce, people struggle daily for what should be freely available: food, water, shelter, dignity. Interview with a homeless mother. I work 2 jobs, but it's never enough. Rent keeps going up. Food prices rise. My children don't understand why we have to sleep in a car. I don't know how to tell them that some people just have too much while others have nothing. Interview with a displaced farmer. My family has worked this land for generations, but one day, a company came and said it was theirs. Now they use the water to grow crops for export, while we barely have enough to drink. How is this fair? Governments often ignore these struggles, blaming poverty on personal failure rather than systemic injustice. But is it really failure when a person works all their life yet never escapes hardship? Or is the system designed to keep them trapped? The myth of scarcity. We are told that resources are limited, that there isn't enough for everyone. But is that true? The world produces enough food to feed over 10 billion people, yet nearly 800 million go hungry each day. Billionaires hoard wealth that could eradicate poverty many times over. Empty houses outnumber the homeless population in many nations. The truth is, scarcity is not natural, it is manufactured. Corporations and elites control supply and access, ensuring that only those who can pay get what they need. They create artificial shortages to drive up prices, making basic necessities a luxury for the poor while the rich waste without consequence. If the earth provides in abundance, why do so many suffer? Because wealth is not shared, it is hoarded. Breaking the cycle. History shows that change does not come from the powerful, it comes from the people. Revolutions, protests, and movements have forced those in power to listen before, and they can do so again. Universal basic income, UBI. Some countries have tested giving every citizen a small guaranteed income. The result? Less poverty, less crime, and more economic stability. Land reform policies. In some nations, redistributing land to local communities has empowered families, allowing them to grow their own food and thrive. Water as a public right. In Bolivia, people rose up against corporations that tried to privatize water. They won. Now, water is recognized as a human right, not a product. These are not impossible dreams, they are real solutions that have worked before. The question is, will we demand them? A future for all. A world where everyone has access to food, water, and shelter is not a fantasy, it is the way things should have always been. But the powerful will not give up control easily. It is up to us to demand change. The earth was created for all of us. No person should starve while another hoards enough to last 1,000 lifetimes. No child should sleep in the cold while mansions stand empty. The world has enough. The only question is, will we take back what was always meant to be shared? The price of paradise is greed. The cost of change is action. The future is ours to decide. Please like, share and subscribe to help the channel grow. Thank you.